The night was silent, too silent. Then, far away, a sound broke through the darkness. Not thunder, not wind, something alive. And for an ancient human, that sound could mean only one thing: run. Thousands of years ago, night was not peaceful. It was dangerous. Humans could not see far. They could not hear everything. And they could not afford to make one mistake. If you lived in Africa, one sound could freeze your body instantly. A lion's roar. And lions often hunt at night or in the early morning. That roar was not just noise. It was a warning. It meant a predator was nearby. It meant territory was being claimed. It meant the dark had teeth. Early humans were not safe just because they were asleep. Researchers have argued that nocturnal predators were a serious part of hominin life, especially around sleeping sites. Then came another sound. Not a roar. A strange whooping call. That was the sound of hyenas. People often think hyenas only laugh, but their whoops are real communication sounds. They help call other hyenas in and signal where they are. So that sound did not mean comedy. It meant movement. It meant backup. It meant you were no longer dealing with one animal. You were dealing with a pack. In colder places, the fear changed. There, the sound was not a roar. It was a long howl. The sound of wolves. Wolves howl most often in the evening and early morning, and they use howls to communicate and warn others. A wolf howl could mean territory. It could mean alarm. It could mean a hunt. It could mean other wolves were coming. The scariest part was not the sound itself. It was what the sound meant. A predator was close. You had been found. And now the dark was no longer empty. So how did ancient humans survive? Not by being stronger, not by outrunning everything. They survived by staying together, by watching each other, by building shelters, by keeping fire alive. Fire changed everything. It gave light, it gave warmth, and it made the night a little less cruel. Fire did not make humans invincible. A roar could still be heard. A whoop could still echo. A howl could still rise from the trees. The night was still alive. Imagine this. You are half asleep. Your family is sleeping beside you. Then you hear a low roar in the distance. Nobody speaks. Everybody understands. Ancient humans became expert listeners. A broken branch, a strange call, a sudden silence. Those tiny clues could tell a story. Sometimes the scariest sound is almost no sound at all. When the forest goes silent, something is wrong. That silence can be a warning before the real danger arrives. The animal changed depending on the land. Lion, hyena, wolf. But the meaning was always the same. Danger. Humans were not helpless. They learned patterns. They built signals. They made tools. And they passed knowledge from one generation to the next. That is why the night sounds mattered so much. They were not random noises. They were messages. And if you understood the message fast enough, you lived.
So the scariest sound ancient humans could hear at night was not just one sound. It was the voice of the dark itself. Sometimes a roar, sometimes a whoop, sometimes a howl. Always a warning